Alright, well hello YouTubers. This is Selling Guy 60. This has been a progress in the making, trying to get this video made and up onto YouTube. I just turned 60 about a week and a half ago, and I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to put something on YouTube. So I have this 2007 Ninja 250 that I bought from a friend of mine. And like any project, you start it and sometimes you can't finish it for whatever reason, whether you're busy, family, or just work gets involved and somehow you just can't get back into it. And that's kind of what this project was. And I've had these too. I've started on things over the years that I couldn't finish. So I had to have somebody else do it. So I'm taking this over for a friend of mine and I'm going to finish it. So let's get on with this, and as soon as I get this thing disconnected, I will show you the bike. Okay, this is what I got. I did put some of these brackets on. I did do some work on this the last week and a half. I don't know why I walk around, I'll tell you. I got a camera and shot a bunch of video. I did a pretty good job, I guess. And then I couldn't get it uploaded into the computer. So I bought this camera from Amazon. It's a, what do they call it? Something I'll tell you later on what it is, because I can't see it. And I don't want to stop the video. Pretty much naked. I did do some work this last weekend. Before I got the camera, I just couldn't wait. I did some soldering here, put a bracket in here, and I'll show you what that's all about later on. But got this thing. It didn't have the carbs on it. The carbs were off it. They were in this box over here. We shall walk over. It was in this box. Right here we had the carbs in there, and then I got all the other pieces, the seat and the tank, side covers, miscellaneous stuff, speedometer. Yeah, and once you look at the speedometer on that one, that is the correct mileage. It's 1,518 miles. That is correct. I had a few problems with the carburetors, and I'll probably shoot more of this tomorrow because I just wanted to start on it. It's, 9 o'clock at night, and I've been kind of itchy to get this one video started. So I'm going to probably pause it here, and maybe you'll see me in a different colored shirt tomorrow without batteries. This thing is bright green, and I'll show you some of the things that I ran into this as far as working on it, and a few problems that I've had getting this project together. And I call this one the 2007 Ninja in a box, and that is the box over there full of parts. That's why I named it that. So, alright, I'll talk to you again soon. Hello YouTubers, I'm back. It's this Selling Guy 60, and I finally remembered to look up what this camera is. It's called a handy cam, made by Sony. I bought it on Amazon. So that's the name of this camera you're watching on. So I wanted to get into a few things here yesterday. It's getting kind of late in the day, and about working on this motorcycle. One was the carburetors. Carburetors on this bike were wrapped up in a rag, and a friend had the good sense to drain the gas out of them. And this is a little filter sticking out there. You can see. Can you see that little filter? There's a filter that goes in there. The gas goes in from the gas tank. Had these filters off, and these little rubber deals that go on the front of the carburetors. intakes, rubber intake. So I went to put these things in and they wouldn't fit in here. And I'm saying, well, he took them out. And I scratched my head, tried to get him in there, not forcing them, but trying to get these carburetors in here. And man, they don't give you a heck of a lot of room. So I went on YouTube and I found out that you can take, what you do is, where am I here? I'm just starting to learn how to use this camera. You take the battery out, and you take the box out that holds the battery, and underneath there are 2 bolts, okay? And then under here there's a bolt right there underneath the overflow tank. You take that one off. I got my flashlight here. Let's see if we can see back up in there here. Yeah, let's see if we can see back up in here. Here we are. Oh man, can you see those bolts? See, there's 2 bolts right there. Oop. I'll back it off a little bit here. There's 2 bolts right there under the fender. You take those bolts off there, and then come up here and you take these 2 bolts off. Here's one here, and Phillips head. Take those 2 off. You got to take these little springs off here. Take these little springs, try not to lose them. And then you can take this whole fender here and slide it backwards away from the carburetors. So, grab my knee pad. I got bad knees. So you can slide them back away from the carburetor. And you can see this right there, behind there, is the carburetors, the air intake box. I'm trying to get this thing set up so that you guys can see what I want you to see. When they say it's not easy to do this with 2 hands, everybody means it. They really do. Okay, let's see if that works. I wanted to get you a picture. There you go. Cool. To get this air box back. So once you get the air box back, you can actually put the carburetors on. So this whole air box thing here, this piece right here, top part of the air box, this, you take this off. This is the back brace that goes, your gas tank fits, screws into here. You take this off, this will be gone. And this air box right here actually slides back about, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches. And the fender itself will actually slide down, fall down a little bit, and you can slide the whole thing back. The battery's out and everything like that. So once you slide that back, okay, I got that part done. Well, then I couldn't get the carburetors back in the box. When I went to push them onto this rubber part here, that's part of the battery box, I couldn't get them to push in here. And I'm pushing and I can't figure this out. And I go, what the heck is going on? What's going on? So I started looking at this little spring here. And this spring, you can take the spring, and they don't show this on any videos, and roll it back. See that? You can roll that spring back, and there's a little groove back in there. There's a little groove right back here. You move this spring, and you roll it back there before you even put the carburetors on. Just roll it back there. And then you can take and you can rub some oil on the edge of your carburetor, around the lip, and these things slide right on. And once you get them all pushed on and pushed up to the stops, there's a stop right here. Once you get them pushed on and pushed up to the stop, then you can take the spring and you can just roll it forward and snaps in place and holds the carburetor back there. But you will not get the carburetors on with this spring forward. This spring forward just drove me crazy. It's funny. It took me 3 hours messing around with this thing, going to YouTube back and forth, taking my time to get this all on here. course, I had to take these carburetors off a couple times. Well, now I could probably put them on in you know, 35-40 minutes. So after you do it 2 or 3 times, you seem to get a little bit smarter. But yeah, you have to take that air box and move that fender back, or you'll never get these carbs on. I've seen a couple other ones for the 250 Ninjas about the carburetors. Well, this is an 07, so maybe 05s or maybe even an 06. Maybe you can pop them in there. But this 07 you can't. You just got to move all that. So just remember, you can take the battery out, take the box out. There's 2 bolts there, and then you'll have this bolt down here. Where's the tank here? Down here at the bottom of the tank. Take that one off, because that bolts to the fender. And then you'll have to take, where am I at here? Oop, I keep hitting the stupid button. Sorry guys. Learning the cam. I gotta keep my finger off that button. Take these 2 screws off. Then you gotta take these springs. We're trying to lose those. Those are kind of hold this spring deal in here to lock the seat in. And then you take those 2 out from under there. The ones under there are easier if you put the center stand down. So put your center stand down, get the bike up on that, and those bolts are easier to come out and go back in when the center stands up in there. And actually, what do I do with my lights here? Those, I don't know if you can see down in there. Sometimes I kind of wonder what I can see with this camera. That's not going to work. I was going to say the 2 bolts that go through the fender actually screw into a mount that's on the shock absorber. It's a lower shock mount. You can't see it. So that's that. I had another problem with this. When I put on a speedometer, I couldn't get my neutral safety light to work. The neutral light wouldn't come on. Well, here is where the neutral light is. It's right here. Let me put some light on this. This wire right here. This little green wire. Get my hand out of the way. The green wire goes down in here. This is the front sprocket. This green wire here is a ground switch. 1 wire to it. So once you put that in neutral, that switch grounds it and completes the circuit and turns the light on. Well, it took me a while to kind of figure that one out, that I had to run power to the switch that had this light to begin with. I had to put power to that switch so that I could get this green wire here, which ran the neutral light, to work. Somehow I just didn't figure that I needed to put power, so I had to put power to the one side. Then once I put it neutral, grounded it, completed the circuit, and turned the light on. So that was kind of my problem. The other problem I had is I didn't have headlights. My headlight switch here, no power. So I thought it was the switch here, but I wasn't too sure about that. I took it apart and the switch there worked fine. So I started tracing this back. Well, I came to this 1 wire here. Which one is the one in the middle? Which is this yellow and black wire right here. I don't know how that comes out on this thing. It's yellow and black. And I traced it down to here. It's in here. It's yellow. That's it right there. The yellow and black. And then that yellow and black turns to a different color, which is the blue and white, which is back in there somewhere. So I've traced this blue and white, all came around. Kick this underneath there so I can kneel on it. Came all the way back here to the fuse box. So I'm just like, okay, what's with the fuse box here? Okay, let me pause this for a second. Okay, I'm back. I'd get the cover off and I wanted to set something up here. I hate wasting time blathering on about the crazy stuff. But this blue wire here, right here where the end of the screwdriver is, that one used to be down in this hole right here. Well, I probed it and I was getting hot through all these other wires, but I wasn't getting hot from the blue with the yellow stripe. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I use my test light here, turn the key on, and I tested all my both sides of my fuses, and all the fuses checked out right. You can just stick it in there and check them out. And the one going to here was actually this one here, and it worked. So I'm thinking to myself, what's going on here? So I unplugged it. I unplugged this thing, plugged it back in, checked it off. Couldn't figure what was going on. So this one up here was blank, it was open. So I took it out of here and I put it up here into this plug and I snapped it in there and the lights worked. So I don't know if that's a common thing that happens here, but you know, you can use a continuity checker, and I wish I would have brought my continuity checker. All it is a little device, and maybe I'll do another little video about that here. You can trace the power from here. You use the continuity checker, and you can trace it to here. Okay, you got power. Well, then you can trace your power from here. I used the continuity checker, and I traced it back to here at the end of that plug, and I had continuity. But then I wasn't getting juice, so I was able to trace it back by using a continuity checker back to the problem. And I'll show you the little thing I have. It's a little meter deal, and it beeps when you have continuity, so it tells you whether you got a good circuit or not. So that's about where I'm at with this thing here. I know I'm probably forgetting something, but probably tomorrow I'll get that continuity checker out and finish that for you. I can't think of what else. I'm going to put a headlight up front here. That'll be my next project, and the headlight's pretty cool. It's got blinkers in it. So I'm going to wire that up, and I'll probably do some of that tomorrow. I'll solder some of these wires here. I need to solder those on and put some shrink wrap, so I'm going to tape that. Then I'll finish up this video. So this is where I am on the Ninja in a Box, and glad you stopped by, and I'll film some more tomorrow. Alright, bye. Hello YouTubers, this is Selling Guy 60. It's the next day. Got kind of tired yesterday, so I cut it short. I wanted to show you this little segment here and finish this one up to get it uploaded on the YouTube about the continuity checker. So I'm going to unhook you here and show you. Okay. I'll back it out. There we go. Keep my finger off that today. This little checker that I got, I got it from Sears. It's Craftsman. You can get anything, just like it'll tell you it's got continuity. And I turn this thing on here, and then I gotta push it in till I see the little deal that shows the sound right there, and you can hear the beeping noise. Well, when I go to check something, I just hook the continuity checker on there and it beeps. When I have continuity, that's when I was checking the motorcycle, tracing the wire back to find out the problem. So that's all that is. You can buy these. This one was like 25, 30 bucks, I think, at Sears. It's like 3 or 4 years old. They might not even have it anymore, but when you go to buy a little amp meter. See if you can get the continuity on it. It just kind of helps you troubleshoot. So that's all. I just wanted to kind of show you that. Also, here we go back. I'm still working on getting some editing software, so I'm going to put this on. There might be parts of it where it's shaky, or I got my finger on the button and it gets blurry and comes back, so just bear with me. I got some other good videos coming up. I have one right now that I'm working on, and I'm going to try to video that and put it back up. It's a refrigerator. It's 3 years old. I do apartment maintenance, and I couldn't find anything on YouTube about it. So I thought, well, you know what, I need to put this on. They have a lot of high-end refrigerator repairs on there that show about how to figure out whether you got the circuit boards bad, but they didn't have anything. I mean, these are just regular refrigerators you'd have in your home. I mean, the other ones, the side-by-sides, are the real expensive ones, $5,000–$6,000. That's fine if that's the kind of refrigerator you want, but for what we have for the rentals, they're just regular standard refrigerators. But now these refrigerators have circuit boards in them. So it was kind of a learning experience for myself and Sean, the guy I work with, trying to figure out what the problem was, why the refrigerator wasn't working. But I'm going to make a video about that, and that should be upcoming here. Might be in between here and coming back and work on the motorcycle. So I'm going to get this posted, and stop back and give me a thumbs up. Alright? You have a good day. Bye. Hello, I'm back. I wanted to finish up this video by showing you the front of the motorcycle. And then on the description below, under more, I'll put in the YouTube page for the, there's a deal in there, the guy shows you about taking the air box and the back fender off to get at the carbs, that one. And then I have one in there that's a good one for overhauling the carburetors. When I got the carburetors, they were empty. I put them on, started the bike up, got it running, carburetors leaked. So I ended up putting in taking the carburetors back off, putting in bowl gaskets and needle seats, put those back on, started the bike up again, and then it wouldn't idle right. So then I ended up taking the carburetors back off and blowing out the pilot and the idle circuit. Well, the idle circuit I had a problem with. I couldn't get the idle circuit screw out, so I had to spray it out with carb cleaner and then blow it out with air. And that's where they're at today, and they're working. But I want to show you the front here, and I'll put that all in the description below, people's pages. And here we go. Got the headlight all on there, the wiring all in place. It's pretty cool. It's got its little blinkers right in the light. Let's see, there's the right, if you can see that without, let's see the angle. You see that? There we go. And then the left one. Got an angle here. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So the blinkers are right in the right in the headlight itself, which was kind of neat. So I'll actually put a deal in the just click the more down below under the description, and I'll have something in there in the headlight and on the speedometer that I got on eBay, and see if I can put some links to those in there. So that's where I'm at on this one. I'm going to finish this front part up here. Hopefully I get the tank and everything on, and then we're going to start on the back end for the next video, and then we're going to go through doing the whole back end, because that's just a whole new process. Alright, well, thanks for stopping in, and hopefully I get this between myself and my godson DJ, we can get this put up.